look, we can come in, this is what we can do. But unless you're serious about looking at your systems, structures, policies, procedures, would have been the language that I would have used, then regardless of how skilled people are, if those systems are actively undermining well-being, then, you know, they're still not going to flourish. So for us to work with an organisation, we really do need to feel that people are authentically committed to changing some of those, you know, systemic issues. And we recognise that that's not always easy, particularly in global organisations. So we work with, I guess, subsidiaries here in Australia that it's not always easy. There are, you know, systems and policies and practices that are basically extrinsically, you know, told to them, this is what you have to do. But I guess sometimes my response is always, you know, we need flourishing people to change systems, because if you're burnout or you're languishing, it's very hard to change a system. So hence, let's try and, I don't think this is a black and white thing. And I've heard a number of your guests, and I agree with them around, don't just throw resilience or wellbeing. I absolutely agree at that, but I don't think it's a black and white. I think, why on earth wouldn't you equip people with the skills of wellbeing and resilience at hopefully the simultaneous time that we are trying to change systems or reduce psychosocial risks as well? That would be my response.
Yeah, and I think it's a really important point that you make there. If you're trying to change the system, but everyone's burnt out and has no energy or appetite to change the system, then you're not going to get that systemic change that you're after.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing though. Like if your system is causing people to burn out and you're giving them resilience training, but it's just barely enough to keep them from tipping over the edge, then they're not going to get to the point where they're actually able to have the capacity to create the change. And I mean, I guess the other thing is typically that the, you know, resilience training is focused on people at the front end, and, you know, perhaps it needs to actually start at the top end with, you know, with senior leadership, because they're the ones who are actually empowered to create the systemic change, right?
Absolutely. And there's great research on that out of Ross School of Business, University of Michigan, on the positive energy of the leader significantly impacting people in the team, but also back to their home environment. So hence why, as there always has been, generally the investment in leaders, because of that ripple effect. So if we can support leaders, and in fact, our experience through the pandemic in coaching leaders is that they've just been so grateful to have had that coaching support to help them navigate not just their own well-being, but everybody in their team's well-being.